Hey, beautiful people. My name's Kristen. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today, if you clicked on this thumbnail because you may have been considering reading the Stormlight, or maybe you have read it and you just want to hear me talk about it, and that's cool either way. But I'm particularly talking to those who maybe have been looking at this, thinking about this, but just haven't quite pulled the trigger because it is intimidating. Because let's be real, picking up a book that's 1,300 pages and knowing that the next book is also going to be 1,300, that's a lot of commitment, right? You want to make sure that you are investing your time and your reading efforts wisely. And I am still pretty much a newbie, both to the fantasy genre in general and definitely to the series. I have read Way of Kings and Words of Radiance, and I am just starting Oathbringer. There is also going to be 10. The fourth one is out. I don't have it. As soon as I'm done with the third, I will be buying it, even though I have a huge TBR stack. This isn't even one of the 10, y'all, but I'm gonna be buying that one and reading it by the end of the year, because I want to give you the 10 reasons why I think you should consider reading them as well. And I will do it 10 to number 1. So number 10, you don't have to be a huge fantasy fan. I am not a prolific reader of fantasy. I have 2 or 3 series that I love, and actually one of the ones that I love most of all was Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. I just absolutely positively adored that series. So that's one of the reasons why I picked it up. So if you've read any other Brandon Sanderson and you like his style, absolutely the Stormlight series is for you. Number 9, Classic Hero Quest, but it has a twist that there's not just really one hero portrayed. It actually follows from the very first book. We get to kind of follow 4 main characters with a wide plethora of support characters, and many of them have a hero quest. They have a noble cause, or a quest for truth, or trying to save a people or a person, or all these kind of your classic hero quests. And so you're following kind of them all. And as the series go on, I know they're going to interact more and more with one another. They're going to kind of maybe join to maybe weave together a beautiful quest. This is what I'm expecting, right? Anyway, but it is the classic hero quest that you love to be on. At least I love to be on, but it is done in a new, fresh way where it's not just one main focus character, but multi. Very interesting. Number 8. It is great world building. So Sanderson is masterful. I mean, he teaches at like a university of how to do this, right? He is an outstanding expert at this. He gives us lots of charts, graphs, maps, all these kind of things, as well as information at the beginning of each chapter. He takes us through interludes, explains kind of what to visualize. He has an artist as one of his characters, and then we get to see a lot of her works of art. So it's just a beautiful job of helping the reader wrap their brain around a very different world. It is not, Earth is not in this universe. The universe is called Cosmere. It is a whole other universe experience, and it's vast and complex. And the fact that he can describe it in such awesome detail and talk about the experience of being outside, or dusts or rains or storms or desolation, or all these kind of things in beautiful descriptive ways. World building is outstanding. Number 7 is a fantastic magic system. So not only do you have this universe, but you have this mystery that you get to unpack. And after book 2, I am still just getting little glimpses into it, right? You have the Stormlight, so somehow these lights and these colors, and even when people take in like the energy, it like flows and ebbs and glows, and there is human races and there are non-human race, and then there are like magical, mystical kind of fairy creatures that can combine and interact with these two, and everybody is kind of at odds trying to figure out how to save their own people, save their own lands, find all these brokenness and shattered planes and bring restoration or dominance, whatever your motivations may be. So this beautiful magic system that you get to be part of and learn about and try to figure out, and the characters are trying to figure it out too, right? Number 6, it's an emotional writing. You have humor where you're laughing. You have sorrow where you are just really like one of those writings where you're just so moved that you know, cry and tear up and are like so touched. And love, not only romantic love, although there's some romantic love, but just deep love for deep friendships, deep family relationships, and that goes into number 5, getting attached to the characters. So the characters themselves are so loyal and attached and driven by one another, and you get sucked into that, and you too care so deeply. And I can't think of hardly any of the characters that I don't care about. Like even those who have a villainous role or have a downside, we even get glimpses into their motivations or their background, and you just really appreciate who they are, or where they're coming from, or why they're doing what they're doing, even if though you maybe wish they weren't doing that. And that kind of deep relationship is absolutely the most magical thing to me in writing. This is why I love Lord of the Rings and Tolkien so much. The passion of those relationships is absolutely what puts it over the top. So Stormlight is no different. Just, I think we all long, particularly maybe after our recent experiences, longing for that connection and that unity. And this book shows examples and glimpses into that. So deep relationships. Number 4. Number 3, it is worth the page investment. So even though this is several hours of reading, right? It's normally, I can read 4 books in the time it takes me to read one of these. So it is an investment, but it is worth it. Have you ever like been reading a book and like you actually didn't want it to end, right? You're just, or you finished it and you're looking and Googling to see if there's a sequel or if there's a spin-off because you want more of that character or more of that story. Well, this one, you know it up front. You got it. It's coming right in your hands and coming up into future books. So it is worth the page investment. You don't have to want there to be more. There is more. It's magic that way. And number 2, this is an important one. We get to be part of the fandom as it unfolds. So Wheel of Time, right? Coming out. Look, the trailer looks fantastic. I'm excited. I'm debating now though, do I watch it or do I try to read the books and then watch it? Because the problem is when you have a series that's all the way out and then you start reading it and you're so moved and so into it, if you go online to a chat or to videos, you have to look out for spoilers, right? Because it takes you a long time to get through it and you don't want to. It's like, la la la, not listening. I don't want it spoiled. But if you're reading it with everybody as it comes out, they can't spoil it because nobody knows. So I am excited to get to that 4th book and get to that place where I have 6 more books that I get to unpack and unfold with everybody else, with the entire booktube community, with the entire friends in real life that are reading it. And I think that is such a unique and fun thing. I totally recommend that if you've been hesitating, go ahead and go for it. I would say try to read at least the first 2, because the first one, you read through it, it's totally worthy. I totally loved it. But there was a lot I was struggling like keeping up with because it's like drinking from the fire hose. But as soon as I picked up the second one, automatically I understood kind of who the characters were. I was following. I was like, oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that. Oh, that's why this, right? It's like this with this, and I think it's only going to get better. So you do some of that building and it just keeps on going, and you get to be part of sharing it with the whole community and helping each other say, oh, I missed this, and oh, I picked up that, and oh yeah, this is beautiful here. But that would be spoilers if you're coming along behind a lot later. So get in there now. And number one is just an overall endorsement. I already know definitively when I do my best books for 2021, these are at the top. There is absolutely no way number one will be anything besides the Stormlight series. I am just that blown away and moved and just shaped by these. I am just immensely down that rabbit hole, full out committed. I am just a huge fan. So there you have it. Top 10 reasons. If you've been on the fence thinking maybe I want to read the Stormlight series, but fill in the blank, there are some reasons to go ahead and get off the bench. Come join us. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know where you are in the series if you're reading it, or if you've read the series and you agree with any of these, and if you've already read the series and you have another one to add, please put it down there, because I'm sure I could come up with another 10 reasons I would want to read this series, or advise somebody else too. So thank you for stopping by and spending the time with me. I so appreciate it. I hope you will stick around, and I will see you again soon. Have an awesome, blessed day.